Alrighty, what's going on? Happy Wednesday night. I remember what day it was. Everything's running each other. Been doing like 6 shows in the last 2 days. But anyway, they don't care about that. They just want to get on with the show. So here we are. We're live. It's Wednesday night. I'm here with Bob and Mike, and they are from Backwoods Trouble. And they're out there in
Hello.
Ohio. And I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to start instantly because I told these guys I got a funny story to tell them. And they're probably like, what the hell is this guy talking about? We don't know him. What's so funny? And this and that. So a few weeks ago, I get a message on Facebook from Bob, sends me over a link to your music. And I get people sending me stuff all the time. And it's, you know, and usually the one reason I ended up listening is because Bob actually said hello. Usually people would just say, they send me the link and say, can you check this out and have me as a guest? Bob says hello, sends me the thing, and that was it. And it took me like a couple days to go back and actually listen to it. And I thought Bob was actually somebody else. I thought he was somebody
Like six
from back.
people.
I thought he was somebody from back when I lived in the Philadelphia area a few years ago, and I was booking concerts in Philly. I thought he was this other guy from this hard rock metal band. So when I click play and I hear Backwoods Trouble, I'm like, wow, they changed like their direction. I'm like, this is really friggin' good. Like this is, and so it was nothing that I was waiting to expect. And then I would like honestly, I was blown away. I'm like, wow, this is really good freaking music. Like I'm shocked and surprised. So then I answered Bob back. I'm like, dude, this is really good. Like, do you want to be a guest on my show? And he's like, what are you talking about? like he had no idea
Who
that I
are you?
was, yeah, exactly. So I'm going to ask you, who the hell are you? How do I know you guys?
Well, you
Mike got
really don't.
around pretty
Nobody
good.
does. I think our beginning of Backwoods Travel started a month and a half ago, right, Bob? December 31st, as far as any music
First
that we
release.
released. And then we come out with our second song, Stomp One Out. First one was Without You.
Right.
And but yeah, that's kind of curious because I was like, well, how this guy, how they Ragni show here of us. Now I understand it. That makes perfect sense. Because really, if you did a Google search on Backwoods Trouble or even My Neighbor Bob's, you probably wouldn't find a whole lot of information. I wouldn't think. And it was just something that kind of happened by accident.
Total accident. That's the funny thing how this all happened.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, so how did me and Bob even become friends? And I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I watched one of your shows and
Okay.
something like that.
I think it was Marty McCoy, wasn't it, Bob? You said
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
when you did an interview with
Maybe.
Marty McCoy, and then
Okay.
Bob had subscribed to friend of it. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think. I'm like, it's got to be somebody from out that way. So I was either thinking, yeah, Marty or the Lonely Ones, or the guys from Scattered Hamlet, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So now you guys were actually in a band together like years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bob was, he tried to jog my memory. He said late 80s, early 90s. So it's been a while.
Oh, wow.
That's the last time I performed anything live or even on stage or any music. And then Bob, he's continued over the years, though. He stuck with it. And we just kind of got back together by chance a year and a half or so ago.
Technology.
Really, I have to contribute the whole thing started with my daughters, Danielle and Samantha.
Okay.
They bought me for Christmas 2 years ago some Persona Studio One recording software.
Huh.
I had no idea what this stuff was, and so I decided to figure out how can you do this. I never ever touched anything like that, and hadn't even picked my guitar up in 30 years. And then run into Robert. He called me up, said I'm coming to Meg's to see another friend. He said, "Come on over, bring a guitar, we'll drink a few beers and get together." So, of course, I gave him my first rough recording of Stomp One Out, not knowing what I did. And he was nice enough to tell me it was pretty good for my first time. So, and then he liked the song. We just discussed that, hey, why don't we try to just send each other some tracks? See what happens here, email. So that's how we got started. Literally, it was just by a fluke. And then we just started writing some music, and 3 or 4 months later, it was like, maybe we can release a song. Let's give it a shot. We're not too old to try that.
Technology.
So, yeah, technology's helped us. I mean, because we're 2 hours apart. We're not even close enough to even get together or practice or do anything. We do everything we've done. We record our own music in our own little studios, process it, move it back and forth, and then come up with our mixes. But yeah, the whole thing is kind of just happenstance. I mean, it really is.
That's amazing. So now, when you guys played in a band, 30 years ago, what style of music was it? Was it like a country type band?
Nah. Tell him, Bob.
Bad habit.
Yeah.
Myself, Mike, Jason Moorman, Gerald Moore, and Robbie Cundiff. And we played every dive for
4 or 5 counties, probably in southeastern Ohio, I'd say, maybe a few more.
Yeah.
But our style was primarily
Ozzy.
80s rock, some 70s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice. Okay.
Anything sitting there. Some 90s, early 90s stuff. But yeah, no country. I don't think we had one country song we did, and that was what was that song? It's a Garth Brooks song. Can't think the name of it. We used to play that in between the sets. Me and Bob would get up there with a couple acoustics and just play that song.
I remember that.
And that was pretty much it.
That's wild. Yeah. So, all right. So Bob, you still been doing music all this whole time then?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Too unknown. TOO unknown. I'm all over the place on.
Now,
but I didn't have Mike to help me with the sound.
Okay.
So we got it going on.
And Mike, you said you haven't picked up your guitar in 30 years.
I haven't. It's probably been a little more than that, really.
Oh my God.
I have been self-employed since 24 years old, and just had at least up to 3 businesses running at one time.
Wow.
Now we're down to 1. Me and my brother Marty are, and our family, our wives still run. And I've had a little more time on my hands within the last few years. And I don't know, just one day went in the office, pulled the guitar out of the case, and just started playing. I was like, well, I kind of missed it. And just wrote a few songs and really kind of started playing country because my oldest daughter, she listens to a lot of country. And more of Morgan Wallen, more modern country. I kind of like better than the older country. It's got a little more tempo beat.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that. So that's kind of how I ended up learning some songs, because that's something that she liked. So kind of she turned me on to the country stuff. And for guitars, acoustic, it's hard to play Ozzy Osbourne on acoustic guitar. So I get a whole lot out of it. So it worked more for me. So then it gave me something to do in the evenings when I just look for something to do. I mean, you get older, I don't want to stop doing stuff or learning things.
Sure.
And, and the whole learning to mix and use software and the whole process has been interesting. Releasing these songs the last 2 months, just everything about it intrigued me. I was like, well, can you do this? At this age, learn something new that you've never done and figure out how to do it. Now, whether it's going to turn into a lot, who knows? We're just having a blast trying. We really are. We're doing something we're passionate about, that we enjoy, and we're not on a schedule. We're just having fun with it. I checked out your biography a little bit on your Linktree account. That was great. I mean, I think you could be an inspiration as well with your story. I think it was Nashville Voyager. That was a good interview that you did.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
There's trust me. At one point, I'm going to write a book, and that book's going to freak people out.
I'd love to read it, because that was a short interview, but it was very interesting. About your name. Yeah, I didn't know that till I read that. Also, did you get engaged recently?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I love the Coco Bay thing. That to me is a seller.
It worked out where we were able to do. Bay is my actual real name. It's my nickname.
Right.
And Coco's her stage name, so it worked good. Coco Bay.
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, it's catchy, and you don't forget it. That's right. I like it.
That's true. So, all right. So, the Backwoods Trouble. How did that name come up?
Well,
Like I said,
Bob,
Mike's the brains of the
good,
operation.
Bob.
I'm just the eye candy.
Well, I'll sit and try to figure stuff out, and Bob would, hey, he had some ideas, some names, so did I, and we thought if we're gonna release a song or songs or whatever, we need something besides just Bob and Mike's music. We didn't think that'd be very catchy, or Mike and Bob's new song. I mean, it's got to be something. So we threw some stuff around. I was up to my daughter's place in McHenry, Maryland. It's a little lake up there. She works in kind of seasonal. My oldest daughter. And I was just sitting on the deck drinking a beer, and I kept thinking, then something about Backwoods came up. And then I just started going down the alphabet. Then I got to T, and I said, Trouble. So I said, Backwoods Trouble. That makes sense, Then you can put a logo. BWT makes a good logo. Well, by the way, I got a hat, Bob. 2 of my fans bought me this.
Right on.
It says BWT
Nice.
on it. This happened to be my daughter's, though. I got you one. I'll send it to you. Oh, good. There you go. But that's how the name came about. And I said to Bob, I said, here, check this out. Kind of made a cover or something, some arts, put it on there. And he's like, that's good. I said, all right. And that's our name. So that's how that name came to be. We just had to come up with something.
It was either Backwoods Trouble or Crooked Dick.
Yeah. We couldn't name it after you, though.
So it sounds like, this thing sounds like it came together pretty quickly. Once you guys got back together.
Mike's my brother. We grew up together. You got to know this guy too.
We've known each other since we were in elementary school, as far as that goes.
Wow.
But how time happens, and think people move on, and you don't drift totally apart. But he's got a life, and I got a life, and it's just what it is. You don't make the time you should sometimes. That's another benefit to this. I got to reconnect with Robert, someone that we spent hours together years and years ago, and here we are again. Even if it is just over the internet, that's a good thing. Period. Mm-hmm.
I'm really
proud. But it's happened within the last year and a half, 2 years. It ain't even been 2 years, really. I'd say it's been 2 years in May when we kind of started to think that we could maybe come up with something that we were proud enough to at least release. We're not looking to burn up the charts or fame or fortune or any kind of gains. Whatever comes out of it does. If we can get some viewers and some subscribers, people listen to music, that's great. I look at I was intrigued with Spotify. Uploads on Spotify are 60,000 singles a day.
It's crazy, isn't
you're
it?
You're just a little drop, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
If you get any traction at all, is great. Of course, big labels will get it because they have the funds to make it happen, and they make the deals with with Spotify, and they're making the deals behind closed doors. We all know that. Absolutely. But you still got your spot. You still have access. And I found myself lately, because we have uploaded a couple songs, I find myself drifting towards more independent artists than I do big label artists, just because I'm thinking, we are a group of people, whether we're doing it for a career or we're doing it just to enjoy ourselves and have some fun. And without independence, it's like all businesses, the big ones get a good chunk, but you got to have them independents out there still keeping that money coming in, even if it's on a small level.
Absolutely.
So it's been interesting to learn that. And I find myself, like I said, drifting towards more independent artists. And there's a bunch of them out there that are great. They just don't get any traction because it's very hard to self-promote without spending a lot of money. Simple as that.
That's the big thing. A lot of these independent artists, I feel bad because they are spending so much money to get any kind of traction. The ones that are really out there trying to do it, and and then it comes down to go to that step further. Besides the world of streaming and digital stuff, then they go out there and go on tour and stuff. Then they're paying to get on these tours. It's just insane what's going on out there now.
Yeah, and anybody will take your money, whether it's $30 or 30,000.
Absolutely. They wouldn't think twice about it. So now, when you guys got back together and started doing this, was the plan initially to release music, or was it just to screw around and see what happens and where it goes?
I think pretty much it was just for fun, literally, to just because I didn't know anything about it. Bob had been mixing for 10 years with Pro Tools. And
Okay.
I said, well, send some tracks, because anything I can get to help me would be great as far as to learn a little bit on. And that's so we had no idea at all when we started to actually release a song. Now, I don't think that was even part of the conversation.
We just wanted to put out the best quality we could, and it turned into what it did. And we felt confident enough to release it, so we did. We got 4 more on the way too.
Bob, have you released any music over all this time while you and Mike were not connected again?
Yeah, as 2 Unknown.
Okay. So you kind of dabbled in the world then, and you've been putting some stuff out.
Yeah, I knew how it worked. It's one of the things where trial and error.
Right. That's cool. It's such a cool thing. So, all right. So the first song you guys put out, Without You, I said, that was the song that Bob had sent me, and I was like, holy shit, this is really freaking good. And it caught me off guard because it was not what I was expecting. Because like I said, I was expecting this hard rock metal band. So is the style of music always going to be kind of like that? Because the new song you just put out too a couple weeks ago, it's kind of almost similar. But are we going to hear anything of you guys like going back down that road from when you were young and trying to be like Ozzy Osbourne? Or
probably, if it's anything, it'll be more leaning towards Bob's guitar parts, as far as maybe more grunge on that direction. I don't know if we'd ever revert back to metal, rock and roll. We do try to incorporate a lot of blues, especially in the last song, and some rock stuff. But I don't know. Bob never had any inkling. I don't think he ever thought about it until I sent him some of my stuff, and then he started playing, with my country grooves basically, and realized, at least I thought, he interprets really well his guitar parts. I mean, I don't send him any ideas. I say, here's a melody, here's some rhythm, whatever. You see what you can do with it, and then he sends me back usually something that's not what I expect at all.
Wow.
And so I don't know if we'll change that or not, because it works so good. It's kind of like, well, what do we want to do? Bob's asked me to set in on some some other stuff that he does, like for 2 Unknown, which that may happen. We may I might set in a song or something that direction, because that is more what 2 Unknown is about. Is more of a rock and metal versus Backwoods Trouble. So I don't know if we'd ever go down just into rock and roll or not. We'll say we won't. I mean, song's a song. If we like it, we'll play it. So
see, I have to check out your 2 Unknown now. I gotta investigate that. Check that out.
Be easy.
Yep.
Easy on that.
It's completely opposite of what this one is. Yeah, but it's still good. I mean, he's put a lot of years into it. So
now, what's the plan? Like, will you guys ever like turn this into an actual band and play some shows? Do you think, or
that would determine on time wise and how could we work the demographic between the two of us, or the logistics between the two of us to figure out some way to do that.
Right.
A couple hours apart, it's hard to get together and practice twice a week if you even want to do it twice a week. Now you can do live stream shows. That would be something maybe to work out. That's another skill we'd have to learn as far as how to get an actual live stream working in real time with a good audio quality to do it. I know it's possible, just to be something to learn. So I don't know if we plan on right now. We're not planning on any live shows. We got 4 more songs to release over the next 4 months. We're trying to do 1 a month because that works in one time frame.
That's the formula that everybody's going with now. 1 a month. That's the way to do it.
That's what I've seen exactly, because we had an idea for an EP. It was kind of dragging its feet. Bob knew a gentleman in Columbus, John Payne was his name. Bob did our video.
Yes, sir.
Our first lyric video, and our logos and stuff. We liked it, did a great job, and then we was thinking about releasing the video, and I said, well, we might as well put the song out and do it at the same time instead of like waiting. So we did that, and we realized that's probably the best way for us to do it. Singles once a month if we've got them, or if we finish the song, go ahead and release it. There's no reason not to, instead of trying to put it on a long play album or an EP.
Right.
So I figure we'll stick with that no matter what we do. So
it's weird, this whole single a month thing, which I didn't even realize until I guess it was about a year ago. I learned from doing one of these interviews with somebody, and they explained to me the whole reason on this whole single a month is all because of Spotify, because it's if you're putting something out every, I guess it is 30 days, 30 or 45 days,
right.
it keeps you in contention or qualification to get into their playlist. So getting onto those playlists is the key for everything.
And it is. They got their playlist, editorial playlist. They roll about every 3 weeks. You have to be signed up 2 weeks in advance.
Okay.
Of course, there's thousands of people wanting on there, and if you get picked, then. But now, if you can get a song that they like and get on there, you can get around 20,000 streams or plays. That's almost guaranteed, which would be fantastic. It's still hard to get on. I've applied for them, haven't heard back, but it's just there's a lot of people wanting to get there. So how often when do they get to listen to the song and pick it? I don't know. But then you can go to a lot of other places. So I found a company on the internet called Chartmetrics. It's free. You can go there and find curators of all kinds of playlists and their social media accounts or emails. I haven't done that yet. I figure we get a little more content. I would like to email those individuals. Maybe it's 30 or 40 or whatever. It don't take long to send out 30 emails.
Right.
And if you get 4 or 5 to put it on their playlist, that is exactly how you're going to get some traction more than just putting it on Spotify without trying. I mean, your friends will listen to it, and a handful of people. But if you want someone from elsewhere, like I checked, we don't have a ton of streams, but the streams I'm getting are from around the world because we're on a couple playlists we made with DistroKid and some other stuff we did. So, I mean, in Europe especially, Spotify must be really big. So we are getting plays in places I would have never thought we would. And that's great. Like Europe is huge for Spotify. I mean, they must have a lot of independent artists that upload from there as well as they do here in the United States. But that is 100%. If you want to get a little more traction, like I said, I don't know if what we're looking for. We really haven't decided. I mean, we haven't been doing this long enough to make our minds other than we did it. So
I still can't.
We wanted to say we did it. Yeah,
I still can't believe.
Yeah, it is. It's hard for us to believe we're doing it again. This many years after being in the band together, and they're able to actually do it. I mean, and it's all because of technology. If I had to pay for the software program and all the stuff that comes with it and analog components, you can't afford that.
No.
I mean, plugins $25, software's $300. One $25 plugin would be $3,000 if you bought the actual compressor or whatever the component was the same as. So all that has made it possible for not just us, thousands of people around the world that either want to do it for a career or you just want to do it because you enjoy doing it. And especially in the last 2 or 3 years with COVID, I mean, shoot, why would you not? If you were really doing this as a performer, you had to do this. I mean, to stay relevant. I mean, for someone who's making money at it. So
exactly.
Now, I don't know that it's a tough gig as far as to get traction nowadays because it's saturated as far as what platform you can be on. But it's worth a shot, and it's fun trying. I mean, it's neat to see that your song was listened somewhere else besides in your house or by your friends at work or whoever. So that is kind of neat. Yeah.
For me, it's all about the next song. I hate getting done with one because I ain't got nothing else. It's all the next one.
Bob is a habitual writer. He can't stop. He'll send me. We'll get halfway down on the song, and he's sending me another one. or we'll be, just started on a song. It's like I had this idea, and he'll send me, some rough tracks.
What you call me?
But that's great. That's great. So he keeps me motivated anyway. So
I want to know whose idea was it to put you guys on TikTok?
Mike.
That was me. And I don't know how TikTok. I know how it works, but I think I'm going about it the wrong way. We really should do very raw recordings, which would probably be the next thing I'd like to try instead of I'd send the clips of the lyric video, which is great. It looks good, But I think what I'm seeing, the trend is people playing a minute clip of their song. It's just them and the guitar or whatever. Here, this is a song, within reasonable that you can kind of get a sense of the song. That might get more plays because TikTok, their algorithm. I mean, if you can figure it out, it's great. I do believe. I just think it's hard to find what people are looking for. So just posting releases, because I would think even a lot of people that are some bigger names and they just post their song as it is going to be heard on Apple or Spotify doesn't get as much traction if they were sitting in their desk or in their house at their kitchen table playing the song on an acoustic guitar. People seem to want that more on TikTok than they do on like something on YouTube, which is more refined. Right. So that's kind of the TikTok thing. I think is a great outlet for artists of any kind, but just the delivery of it to get in that algorithm to kick in is something we ain't figured out yet.
Well, if you figure it out, let me know.
I sure will. Believe me, I'll pass it on to all kinds of people because there's still a lot of content on there, and I love the musicians on TikTok. I mean, you find people that do 1 minute clips, 3 minute clips, and it's like, man, they're great. But then it'll lead me to their Apple or their Spotify or YouTube, and I'll go check it out. But I do enjoy the raw versions of their songs, so I think that's going to be the key to getting some more TikTok, people looking at it, subscribers. Yeah,
that's awesome. That is awesome. So the next song, what will that be released?
Well, it's coming out. It should be around the 1st or 2nd week of March. Okay. I haven't picked my date yet. It'll probably be within the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's called "Gone for Good." Robert, as always, he sent me a nice melody that I really liked, and then he sent like a verse. And this song, the next morning I got up and I'd played, run through the melody and I'd come up with something I really liked for a whole song. And then the next morning I was having coffee, and then this is during the whole Morgan Wallen incident in Nashville. Everybody wanted to cancel him except for his fans. And that was going on. And this song came, and Bob had this verses in it, and I wrote a song sitting there drinking coffee. I don't know, probably 10 or 15 minutes. And then I took the song. I had this app, not everybody, GarageBand. It's another recording app that you use on your phone. Well, I never used it. I just put my phone on the coffee table and clicked, and I record some guitar tracks, guitar lead, and then wrote the lyrics down, and then record the song, sent to Bob, and emailed myself the tracks out of GarageBand into my studio. So that song was recorded, at least my parts, except for the vocals, on my phone, sitting in my living room. But the idea of what happened with them, and one part of the song is "Fall from Grace." That's a piece of the song and the chorus, and that his whole incident kind of came to that. It's not him specific, but it's anybody's. So that's what the song's kind of about. It's called "Gone for Good." We've got 3 more songs that are finished. We're going to do "Waiting on the Rain." That'll be probably the next month. That's a song Bob wrote himself. Wow. It's kind of personal to him, and it's a really great song. And then we got "Don't Run Away." That'll be the next one. And the last one is "The Good Life." It's a really good up tempo song. We're about 80%, 90%. We're about done with that one, so we should have it done with them. But that's our song list for now. And I don't know what we'll do next. We got so many ideals floating around. We had to kind of like these songs. We had to basically make a list. And so, we need to finish this because it's easy to jump around.
Sure.
Next thing you know, you're working on that. You're working on this. So as projects goes, that's kind of where we're at. We try to get something done to move on to the next one. But we're 100% do it yourself though. So
now, Mike, I got to ask you this: since Robert, you've been still doing music all these years. Mike, is your family kind of shocked you're doing this and releasing music now?
Well, I think maybe a little bit that I've done to this extent as far as decided. Maybe my daughter's like, "Hey, Dad, release a song." All right, maybe I will, But then if I kind of play the music for some people, like, well, that's pretty good, versus just something you think you'd hear. Here's an 8-track, like back in the day. Here's a cassette of me playing.
Right.
Okay. You record that with one of those little microphones, so yeah, I think some of them have been kind of like, is that you or is that's me and Bob? It's kind of hard to believe that because you listen to the song, it is a band, but it's us playing we're doing all the parts more or less. So they kind of like, how are you doing that? As far as recording us, record here, he records his parts, and then we email them and work it out, which is not uncommon, I don't think, in today's era. I mean, I'm sure big bands, when they're off,
that's how they're doing it.
They're making
that's
music.
how they're doing it.
Then they're just recording in their house and they send that track or whatever. So it's what's being done. We just kind of do a little bit more as far as all the parts best we can. But yeah, I think so. I think they were a little bit surprised that I'd even be interested in it again because I hadn't touched a guitar in years. So
wow. Now who's doing the singing? Which one of you guys is singing?
Well, we both do the singing. On that song, on the first two songs, I did the lead vocals, and then Bob did backups.
I suck.
The next song, I did lead vocals. What's that, Bob?
I said I suck.
Oh, yeah. Now we got yours waiting on the rain. Bob doing the lead vocals.
Me.
Yeah, you can still sing. Neither one of us a professional singer. You just got to keep it as close as you can to pitch. Stay, as we say, stay in your lane. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, that's a combination of vocals. So we kind of go back and forth on that. It's kind of whoever spits the song.
Here lately, I've been trying to write my stuff to you.
Yeah, Bob pushes me into singing, I think, sometimes. So, but it works out. I don't mind singing.
We called him Smokey for a reason.
Well, yeah, they named me that back in the band. They used to call me Smokey. I think Gerald. Did Gerald come up with that?
I think so.
I think it was Gerald. Yeah, it might have been one. Might have been her. But yeah, that was my name back in the days.
Smokey. Too funny. Yeah. So all right. So now you guys don't have a website, so I guess the main places we could send everybody would be Facebook to find out more information, or Spotify to hear.
Go to Facebook, Spotify, Apple, probably the 18 outlets on that's out there. Of course, Apple, Spotify are your big ones. And if you want to go to Linktree, Backwoods Trouble, Linktree, you can just put that in any search bar and it'll pop right up. One of the best things I could find as far as out there today is Linktree. It puts people get more used to using it. It's fantastic. But that's the two main places: is Apple, Spotify, Facebook, or band page Backwoods Trouble at Backwoods Trouble, and then like I said, Linktree. That's where you can find whatever we're doing, whether it's videos, songs, TikTok, or anything that has to do with Backwoods Trouble. Yeah.
Now, if you want to see TikTok for you guys go viral, you got to get Bob up there doing some dance or something.
Well, I agree with that. After seeing him now and that sexy stash and beard he's got going on there, I think he needs to be on TikTok Live.
I think he does.
I'm just the eye candy.
Yeah, we're going to have to work that out. I'm going to come up to make a special trip up there to record a TikTok video. That's a great idea. Yeah. We definitely
need to do. There you go.
I'm down here in the next couple of weeks.
Where's that?
I'm gonna be coming down in the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, give me a shout. Hopefully, I'll be here.
Right on.
Or let me know when you're coming, so I won't be here.
That's more like
I wouldn't leave you hanging at the doorbell.
That's too funny. Well, guys, this is honestly, this is a great story, and you guys are putting out really good music. I really enjoyed it. Seriously,
thank you.
We appreciate it. We appreciate your time, even though it was kind of a little bit of an accident, but it was really nice meeting you, and I enjoyed reading your story too. It was fantastic. So
thanks, man. I appreciate that. And hey, look, it was an accident that was meant to happen. So this whole thing.
Hey, you got a subscriber. I've subscribed to your channel now, and I really do like it. So.
Well, thank you. You got, and I subscribe back to you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks. Have a great night, and I'm looking forward to hearing the new song.
It sounds good. Thanks, Bay.
Thank you. Take care.
Later,